Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Podcast number 3. This is Dr. Rohrich in Dallas, Texas. Rohrich Knose. You know, life is full of surprises. Life is short. And certainly in these amazing, challenging times we're living in, you know, we have to appreciate each other and all we do. So, you know, I certainly do that. I appreciate every moment of every day. I can tell you that, you know, having seen my aging parents pass recently and having grown up in a real rural community, not speaking English. I can barely speak English. Not speaking English till I was 6. I really have a true appreciation of the American dream. And I'm going to share my American dream with you in the upcoming podcasts of really who and what we are, who and what I am as an individual, as an American, and loving what I do. You know, just like all of you, I love this country, and I love what I do. And I think that's really the key point for all of us, because people always ask me, what makes you tick? What makes you successful? So I'm going to just share with you some of the things that I've learned, some of the hard way, some of it through my experience in life, and the things that will make you better, the things that will make you an expert, that will make it so that people will listen to you and you listen to them. I think many times I resort back to what my mother used to tell me, you know, you learn more by listening than by speaking. And of course, that's been a problem for me throughout my life because I speak a lot. So I'm going to share with you 10 things that will help you become better, become an expert, okay? So, number 1, it's your passion. If you have a passion in life, find it, cultivate it, fertilize it, and grow it, and you will be amazing. So many people never find their passion, or they're afraid of their passion, or they never ask themselves, what is their passion? You know, when I grew up on a ranch, I knew I was not going to want to raise cattle or ride. I loved riding horses and driving tractors, but it wasn't my passion. It was something I did because that's where I grew up in North Dakota. But I loved science. I loved helping others, and that led me to medicine. So find what drives you. What drives you defines you. Remember that. What drives you defines you. And that's, once you find your passion, I think you've reached an incredible plateau in your life already. So, and then write it down. Write down, you know, these 10 things. So your passion. And then always aim high. Okay? Because remember, and I tell this to my kids all the time, if you aim high, you're going to get there. But if you don't aim high, you're also going to get there. So always aim high. That means take where you want to go and aim higher. Because guess what? It's like the impossible. It'll just take a little longer. So aim high and you will get there. I promise you. It works every time. Because of all the other 8 things I'm going to share with you, they are golden and they're going to get you there. So passion, aiming high is so important because you've got to be driven from within to be successful from without. Okay? Very, very important. Okay. And then you've got to find the life skill that allows you to do that, whether it's in art, science, medicine, whatever. It doesn't matter. I think for me, it was medicine. You know, I loved science. I loved math. I loved what I did and everything I did that was related to science. And so find a skill that makes it seamless for you to excel in. And that's also like a passion, because many times your passion will also become your skill. So remember, your passion will become your skill. So if you're passionate about art or science or, anything you want to do, you will become good at it because that's your skill. And then you know what? Then your work becomes your passion and it's no longer work. It becomes your life. And that's important. Your passion, your skill becomes your life. Okay? So, passion, aim high, find your skill. And I can't tell you how important that is. Okay? And then you've got to focus. You have to focus on these things. And that means you have to be laser focused. Like I am now, I'm laser focused on doing exactly what I said I would do. So you have to keep your eye on the goal. And believe me, there's a lot of bumps in that road. There's a lot of them. I remember in medical school, long, hard nights when my buddies and my friends were drinking and partying. I was studying in the library till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. And so I think you got to stay focused. And, that's what makes you the differentiator. The differentiator in life is that. It's your focus. If you take somebody who's passionate and focused, nobody can touch them. Nobody. I just don't think that that's possible. So you've got the passion. You got the focus. You're aiming high. You found your skill. Wow. You've got 4 of the 5 of the top ones, okay? And then you're going to discover failure. And failure is probably one of the most important lessons, we all learn in life. We go to one high and then we go to one low. Because just remember, you never know the highs until you've been to the lows. And we've all been there. And anybody who has not has never, ever succeeded in life. Okay? Just remember that. So when you're low on your luck and low on everything else, just remember, that low will drive you higher than your next high. That's really important. I can't tell you, I have learned more from the failures in my life than anything else. It's just like in becoming a better surgeon. You always learn more from the patients that have had problems or that you want to solve because you learn from those and you become better. That's your pathway to excellence. That's your pathway to being an expert. This is for everybody. This is not just, in medicine. This is in whatever you want to do. You follow these things, it will change your life forever for the better. Okay? So, and then you have to work hard. You got to have some perspiration. So you've got to work hard. You've got to work harder, better, and longer than anybody around you. I think Elon Musk talks about that all the time. I think that's why I like what he talks about, and it's not ruthless. It's really the truth because, when everybody's done at 4 p.m, guess what? I mean, I'm working every night till 8, 10 o'clock or midnight to this day. And leaders lead by example. Okay, when your group or whoever you're leading sees that, you lead by example. If you leave at 1 p.m. and they say, "Oh yeah, we'll see you later," they're not inspired by you. So you have to perspire, okay, before you can inspire others. Okay, so a lot of hard work. You're there before everybody. You stay when everybody's gone, and you always deliver more than is expected. Okay? Those are the 3 cardinal rules of perspiration and hard work. Okay? And then I would say aspiring. You have to aspire to greatness. Okay? That's different than aiming high. You have to aspire to greatness. And when you aspire to greatness, people follow you. They will follow you. Nobody's going to follow someone who's not aspiring to greatness. Okay, you've seen that in Ronald Reagan, Abraham Lincoln, okay, Jesus Christ, all these incredible role models that we have in life, George Washington, Gandhi, all these people, they inspired others to greatness. They led by example. So you've got to do that. That's very, very important. So you're building this cascade of events, of leadership, aspiring, perspiring, getting greater, being yourself. And then I think one of the other things that's so important is you've got to give back, okay? Because giving back is part of who and what we are. It's part of our DNA. In other words, when we inspire, aspire, we also have to learn to give back, because giving back is really part of our DNA as Homo sapiens. And as a human, giving back takes you to a higher level of an expert, of a leader. And I think that is so important. So few people do that in medicine and in so many other fields. So giving back is very, very important. It's really, an essential aspect to greatness and being an expert. So, for example, when I go and do a procedure, I'm teaching others every day. I want to aspire them to greatness, to be as good or better than me, because I know that I'm not going to be around forever, but I'm wanting to give back and teach that next generation to be and do the best they can be, because, that's what experts do. That's what leaders do. And I think it's so important that we all do that. And it's a team example. So you give back, and it doesn't matter how you do it. You can teach others, you can help others, you can provide support to others. I don't think it matters. I think every day you have to check off the giving back. Okay? It's very important. And I think, that's so, so important. And that is really, part of what I do every day. And then I think one of the other things that's really important is doing a good deed for others. It's part of giving back, but it takes it to another level. Whether you help someone, whether you're opening the door for someone in life or figuratively, or just doing something that makes you a better person, a more respected person in the community of life, is very important to all of us. And I think that's also in our DNA. So we've gone all the way from passion to focus to inspiring and perspiring to being the best we can be every day through all of life. And now we have come to who we are. And I think every day you need to ask yourself, who am I, and can I be better? Am I a better person today? And you should be able to say yes to that at the end of every day. Okay, because I ask myself that every day, and at the end of the day, I want to make sure I can say, yes, I was a better person, and I really want to say that. And I think the other thing is, forgive. You must always forgive. Forgive. You can forget. Often I probably don't, but I always forgive. Forgiveness is also part of our genetic makeup. So no matter what happens every day, remember, forgiveness is a virtue that all of us have. We forgive ourselves, we forgive each other, and we move on. And that makes us better. So I'll leave you with these 10 thoughts. And I hope that this has helped you, as it has helped me, become a better person and an expert in what I do, and hopefully provide a pathway for you to become an expert in what you do. So these are the 10 things that have driven me to develop who I am today. So I think perhaps as I see the world today is a lot of people want to do it, but they don't want to put forth the effort to do it. It's one thing to dream it. It's another thing to do it. And I think dreaming is great. It helps our mind. It clears our body and soul. But then, you wake up and you got to do it. You got to work hard. You got to, slug through the day. If it's going to be one of those days, you got to make sure that you stay on target, because you have to be self-driven. And there's no one going to be there after your parents are gone or after you leave high school to say, hey, you got to get out of bed. You got to do this. You have to drive you. And that's what makes you better than anybody else, is that you are driving you. No one is going to look and tell you, hey, you got to be better today. It's you driving you. And I think that's really what drives all of us to that next level of excellence. All those things I talked about, they won't matter if you aren't in the driver's seat. You're in command of you. You're in command of your life. So you've got to take charge of your life. You got to take that steering wheel and drive it home, okay? And sometimes you may be driving slow. Sometimes you may be, exceeding your speed limit, but you got to drive it home. And the most important and best way to do it is a straight course. But as you know, life isn't a straight course. There's always zigzags. There's always some curves in the way. And sometimes you'll hit the ditch and you got to get back up. But you driving you is what will make you the best you can be. Everybody's been through a lot of things in their life. And if they haven't, they're not being truthful. But I think at the end of the day, it's not what you've been through, it's how you reacted to what you've been through. That's what is the differentiator. I mean, the most important thing is, how did you respond to that adverse things in your life? Did you fold? Did you buckle up? Or did you buckle down and say, I'm going to be better? I learned from that. Failure. I'm going to be better. So it's not your failure that determines who you are. It's really what happens after you fail, what you do, and how you get back to the top and go higher than you ever could before. I've seen it time and time again in history, in us, in myself. I just see that all the time. When you want to be better at what you do, you want to take better care of yourself. You want to, be a better parent. You want to, be better physician for your patients. All these things are so important. And that's really what drives us. So I would say these life lessons are things that all of us have learned from. And the most important things about life lessons are it's those steps from failure to success and how we act and react that takes us to the next level of excellence. And that's really what we do. And I hope you've enjoyed this and learned as much from this podcast as I have in my life of actually giving back, learning to be the best we can be, and helping others. So join me for the next podcast, and hope you have an amazing week.